Welcome to my November 20th Creating Photos and Videos episode. I tried this the other day with another app and was having some audio issues. In fact, I recorded the whole thing and had no audio. So I'm doing it again using good old Filmic Pro. Well, we're back from our trip. We've been back for a little over a week, and it is time now to kind of assess, did I pack properly? Was I prepared for what I wanted to take videos of or take photos of? And the answer is yes, yes, yes. Everything went fine. One of my last minute decisions was to take the Xiong Smooth Q gimbal instead of the newer Crane M. Newer to me, it's an older gimbal actually, because it seemed to work really nicely with my new iPhone XS, and was easy to balance because I don't have a cover on the XS. It's not as big as my 7 Plus was, and it just seemed a little bit lighter than the Crane M to carry, and it's all self-contained. The batteries aren't separate and so on, which on one hand is a nice thing, and the other hand, for this reason, it was nice to be able to pack. But ended up 4 weeks away, and I didn't use it once. I didn't carry it around with me, and so I did do a fair amount of video with my iPhone, but I handheld it or used my little clamp with a PVC pipe because I just didn't have the gimbal with me. It wasn't something I was going to normally carry around with me. So that probably was a dumb thing to take. The most frustrating thing of the whole trip was the several times that we had to fly airplanes. Going through airports is really stressful and really frustrating, and especially if you have a bag like I had with the Stitch 12 packed with stuff, a lot of camera stuff. So it got stopped at least 2 times, maybe even 3 times, meaning that it was pulled aside after the scan, and the TSA official, because this happened I think in the United States each time, the TSA official unpacked the whole bag to go through it and find out what all these wires and things were. So I need to think about how I can pack so that that doesn't happen. Maybe it'll inevitably always happen, but I meant to ask the last TSA agent, what is it that really springs up that made this happen that I can avoid the next time perhaps? There's nothing dangerous in the bag, but I understand their need to check. So what I need to do is be a little more careful about all the things that I take. Now, I did take the TG tracker, the Olympus TG tracker, and it's a little video camera, action camera, and I did use it a couple times to do time lapse, but I've decided I'm going to sell that because I did some time lapse at the same time with my iPhone, and I was equally happy with those time lapse. And I just don't use the TG tracker that much. One of the nice things about it is it works underwater, but again, I have never used it underwater. I don't go in water that much, so that's going to go in the selling block. And I use my Insta360 camera a lot, and I'd already decided I was going to sell that and perhaps get the new one, the Insta360 X. But so that's going on the selling block too, because I love taking the 360 videos and photos, but it's very frustrating to share them. You can't to share them as you can other photos in your photo stream on an iPhone. And in order to share them with somebody, you really need to put them on YouTube. My experience is put them on YouTube or on Facebook or on several of the VEER website and so on. But that's a little bit of a hassle for me, at least. So I haven't given up on 360 videos, but I am going to get rid of that camera. So I've got that one for sale, and I've got the TG tracker for sale. And of course my 75 to 300 Olympus lens that I've had for sale for some time and just haven't sold it yet. So hopefully those will sell sometime in the next couple weeks. But otherwise, I was happy with the Panasonic GM5 camera that I took with the 2 lenses, the Olympus 12 to 40 and the Panasonic 35 to 100. I did use both of them. I use the 12 to 40 most of the time, as is typically the case. But my little test with the GM5 and whether it was a usable camera, a carry-around camera, it kind of has ended now, and I'm glad I did it. You know, for several months, that's the only camera I used. The nice thing about the GM5, though, with its native 12 to 32 lens, small enough to stick in a pocket. In here in North America, where I live, we're going into winter, so that means wearing coats more often, and it's easy to stick that camera in a pocket. In fact, it's in my coat pocket now, and that's where it will stay. So that every time I go out, I know I have a nice little camera with me, and I can get shots if I want to. But otherwise, I'm going to pull back out my Olympus OMD EM5 Mark II camera, and again with the 12 to 40 lens and the 35 to 100 as a carry-around camera kit. So basically, the rethinking of my photography relates to getting rid of things that I don't really need. You know, I've come home. Apparently there was considerable rain while we were gone, and the system we've put into our basement to try to prevent the seepage of water into the basement seems to have worked. We had some rain when we got home, and that wasn't torrential rain, but it was constant, and the ground was just soaked outside. So that's typically how water has been coming in, and it didn't come in. So I think I'm comfortable now getting back to getting this studio, this downstairs studio or basement studio, back in shape. As you can see, there's still lots of boxes around, and I have a lot to do. In a future video, I'll be back to even better than it was before, because I'm going to do some rearranging. So that's pretty much my update. I'm a little screwed up with my schedule. You know, I had videos scheduled to publish while I was gone, and I had 2 planned for when I returned, and the one got a little screwed up with the audio problem, so I'm doing that now. And the one I was going to do today was really going to be on the basement, but I probably need to wait until I've got the basement cleaned up before I do that. But I do thank you for checking in and staying tuned to my channel, and I look forward to seeing you in the next episode. Goodbye.